Yeah, drop that just there.
There we are.
Mic officially dropped.
Yep. That's the way it is, though. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. Come on in, everybody. We see you out there. We've already got people in the house. That chat is live today. We are live. It is 5 a.m. where I'm at. Believe it or not, the wife got up early. She was complaining. I left the door open to the bedroom, and the cat got in, and she wasn't able to get back to sleep. So she's going to be grumpy all day.
Well, the
great
cat.
fun.
Yeah, with the cat.
The cat, yes. The cat's going to be grumpy all day. Yeah, absolutely. Come on in, folks. It's Comics by Night. We've got a great book today. I always say that, though, but that's because there's so much great stuff out there. So I'll run the opening and get right into it. We'll run this. Here we go.
Holy shit. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid has seen some shit.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
Might be time for a new opening. I don't know. Getting kind of tired of that one.
You get a talking dog on it.
I'll get a talking dog. Yeah, absolutely. We'll get a talking dog in it.
Sausages.
Ooh.
Sausages.
Roll. Yeah. Sausages. Come on in, folks. Comics by Night. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find a lot of my work over at arrowcomics.store. You can find such works as he said, shuffling his books around over here. Hero Bot Zero is over there. That's a fun book in Calico. It's a nice fantasy book with a lot of great fantasy themes and characters in it. Paragon, which is a superhero story I'm especially proud of, with a great twist ending to it. And the Fool is over there as well. And you can also find the Fool over at fundmycomic.com, as well as and also for the last few issues that are left, Shadow Kingdom is available over there, which is a Robert E. Howard story in public domain that I adapted, and Russ Leach did the artwork for. And you can catch that over at arrowcomics.store. You can catch a beautiful black and white version of it over at Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, or criticalblast.com, as well as any bookstore that orders through the Ingram system. They can order that as well. It's under the title of Shadow Kingdom, Randy Zimmerman and Russ Leach. So go over there and look for that. It's a great story. You can also find a fantastic hardback book over there as well for, I think it's $40. First thing I've ever done that got printed in hardback. So I'm especially proud of that. So you can go over there and enjoy that anywhere books are sold that carries the Ingram system. So do that. Real glad you're here this morning. Joining me this morning also is Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, everybody. My name's Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. I write books. I've got 12 in print at the moment. Relevant to this show, or more relevant to this show, is this book about Jack Kirby, which details my visits to his house in the late 80s and early 90s. And there's also a DVD you can get if you contact me about that. I was filmed speaking to him in his studio for about 45 minutes. So if you want to watch him talking, get in touch. Also on Amazon, you can get this Jack Kirby variation on a theme, which is a series of articles written by professionals and amateurs alike, all about Jack Kirby, surprisingly. If you go to Fund My Comic, you can be able to pick up a copy of my Hatch annotated book. Hatch is a character I created 40 years ago now. Lots of stories about him, lots of published and unpublished work. It gives you the details of how he came to be. And last but not least, I publish Comics Unlimited, which is a 100-page magazine about comics, articles, interviews. Both Randy and Russ have appeared in this comic. And that comes out every now and again. Should be bi-monthly, but it slipped a bit. But there's 15 issues on Amazon now.
Officially published wheneverly.
Yes, wheneverly. That's the one. Wheneverly.
All right. Also joining us this morning, Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, my name's Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK. Done some Batman, some Doctor Who, some Marvel stuff, some Ben 10. Been around the block, done some stuff. But that's not important now. What's important is things like the Shadow Kingdom and the Atlantean issue 1. I found out the other day that actually it's because we're calling it kind of like magazine because we couldn't call it a graphic novel. And I heard the expression bookazine. So it's a bookazine. There you go. 52 pages of fabulous black and white. It's a slight change of pace from the Shadow Kingdom, but it's still keeping Robert E. Howard's vision in place. We hope that's what we're trying to do. Randy's producing some great scripts. I've got Aaron Sparrow on the editing, and he's bringing some great stuff to it as well. And the book it's gone to print. It's official. It's coming. So we'll be posting that out next week or the week, but certainly early December. You'll be getting your books, I think. And that's it's already gone to Red Dragon in Brazil as well, and is being translated as we speak. Second book is in production. First pages have been drawn already, and a cover has gone off to ink spots. Really looking forward to seeing that coloured cover coming. If you want to find out what's going on, there'll be another newsletter soon. Go to russleach.com, sign up for the email list, and we can tell you when the next bookazine, seasonally published, will be out. It's destined to be 1st of March next year for the crowdfunder. I see no reason why that won't happen. So go to russleach.com, sign up for that email list.
It's still a graphic novel to me.
Yes.
Bookazine almost has, to me, it's got the same feel as floppy.
Floppy. There's nothing floppy about Cole.
32-page comics are floppy. Yeah, sounds like a rabbit. Anyway,
Oh dear.
folks, today we're going to look at Blueberry, the Great Blueberry by Jean-Michel Chalier and Jean Giraud. Chalier. Pardon my French, my lack of French.
Pardon my lack of understanding of anything European. It's all right. We'll all be gone soon. They start chucking missiles.
We'll all be gone soon if they don't start checking themselves. But that's a whole nother matter. Yeah, we don't have to get into that. Crazy people just lobbing missiles at one another.
Lobbing missiles at each other. Yeah, they're all crazy. Yeah. Look at
that cover, though. I love that cover.
The thing that sticks out to me is the shading.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That wonderful shading under the neck and under the nose. And then a sort of a knowing that he's going to put in that, under the eyes for the hat, which is a slightly different kind of shade. It's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? And the lines as well. Beautiful.
Yeah. And the sweatband along the hat here. Yeah. Beautiful touch.
Wonderful varying weights. Just absolutely gorgeous.
Yep. I just love that picture.
I don't have this. I think I'm going to have to.
Not a lot of people do have this. That's why I love showing books like this off. You know, not a lot of people have read the Blueberry material.
I've not read any of Blueberry except page maybe. When was this published, Randy?
1989. 71, the actual work.
Right.
So copyright 89, this version. Star Watcher Graphics. Printed by Epic Comics, Marvel, back when they had taste. And,
look at that beautiful glass in that window frame there.
Yeah, this is
Archie Goodwin, editor-in-chief.
Archie Goodwin, the great Archie Goodwin. Yeah,
look like glass.
Yeah.
This will sound really stupid, but that glass looks like glass.
It does.
It doesn't look like the wood or the gun, does it? It looks like glass.
And it isn't just where he's put the edges and defined the glass. It's like it's blurred through the glass.
That's right. Yeah.
It's absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. We can give up now, can't we?
Yeah, that's it. Good night.
Officially.
Fortunately, I don't paint, so
The divots and the cracks in the plaster here on the walls, it's just amazing. Yeah. The whole thing is fantastic.
Oh, God.
it's still available on Amazon.
Epics, or is this an IDW reprint?
I don't know. I'm just going to go look. There's a paperback.
There are 5.
Oh, it's in French.
Okay.
Oh,
There are 5
you
epic.
don't need to read
epic
it.
volumes.
No, I don't know. You're right. I'm not going to read it.
Just look at the drawings. Sorry, Randy, go on. Well,
There are 5 epic volumes like this.
Yes. Yeah.
This is Chihuahua Pearl. It's really believe it's the first one he did, and even though he jumps through the timeline on the character quite a bit. So there's also a series of Young Blueberry books.
Look at that.
Cavalry.
This is a different style again for him, isn't it?
Totally
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Is somebody else colouring this?
no, he's colouring it. Said at the beginning, their colours by Moebius.
He's colouring it. Okay.
Signer Rubin.
Down below. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing this
Colours.
story. Yeah, colours. John Giraud. That's Moebius. That's colours on Chihuahua Pearl. So maybe somebody else is doing the rest.
No, he did the other story in this book as well.
Right. Okay.
The $500,000 Man.
How do you get a colouring? Oh, is that? I thought it said colouring editor. It was consulting editor.
Oh, it's consulting editor. Yeah.
God, beautiful.
Might be time for new headphones for me. It's jumping from channel to channel, side to side. It's gorgeous. We read his Moebius's biography before, so I think we set off camera. He spent quite a bit of time in Mexico.
Yeah.
I do believe these were done in half-page segments.
Right. Yeah, you can see that. Can't you?
Laid out. It looks like a Sunday comic page here in the States. Sunday section would run 2 tiers like this. Anymore.
What's the name of this first story?
Chihuahua Pearl.
Chihuahua Pearl.
Fantastic, isn't it? Great horses.
Very, very Western, very different theme from the other material that we've looked at before, writing and everything about it. It's an involved story. It's been decades since I read it. I read it when it was first out, but I remember it real fondly as being just pure Western.
Did he lose his colour?
I believe that might be a flashback there. Something that happened to him in the past. But he does use a lot of base solids here. Yeah.
That's great, isn't it?
It's a different palette. Yeah. But, look at that. How often do you see artwork like that in comics? It's great stuff. Love the
Look at that first. Look at the first panel there. The depth of all those. What are those trees called there?
Cactus.
Yeah, the cactus. Look at the way the depth of that. Such a small panel. He's got He's got 14 miles in it, hasn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the Southwest landscape. Really, there's a lot of land.
Oh, I've just seen that first page in black and white.
Yeah.
God,
This page or the other first?
the page with the big rock on it, and he's shooting, turning back and shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that page. Yeah.
Can't help but see the love in this, you know, care taken.
Got stagecoach there. How good is that?
Yeah.
Wow. He does use those solid colours really well.
Yeah. All the tropes taken from Western cinema, Italian Westerns. You know, that not your typical, like your Marvel comics.
Yeah, like is it what's he called? Clint Eastwood, and what's the guy called who produced them, directed them?
Sergio
somebody.
Not Argento, is it? At first say Sergio to me, I think Aragonés, and that's not right.
Yeah, I did the same. I'm on the same route as you.
Different artist.
No,
yeah.
No, it's not him. But anyway, it's that kind of a few dollars more look, isn't it?
Yeah. It's driving me nuts. I am definitely going to end up getting another set of headphones, I think. Chat's open today, folks. Michael DeFonte's in the house. If you are not reading The Shadow Kingdom from Randy Zerman and Russ Leach, you need to fix that. There you are. Thank you, Michael. Also said, like I said, I read it 3 times because how much I enjoyed The Shadow Kingdom. There we are. Thank you so much. So pleased you like it, Michael. Thank you. Somebody, comic book black belt, said that.
Some scumbag.
somebody.
Thank you, Michael.
Glenn B. Fleming is great work. I have enjoyed his Comics Unlimited quite a bit. Yep. All sorts of great comics history found in there. Great articles. Blueberry is a book I have been wanting to get into for a long time. Great selection for today. Thanks again, Michael. Appreciate you being here. And everybody else out there, we've got a nice, solid audience this morning. Make sure you hit that like button. Out there, any type of conversation you have with whatever platform you're on just goes to help our algorithm and helps us to be seen. Russ just added something here. Should I display it?
Yeah. So
look at that.
Look at that. The black and white. That's just
zoom right in on that first
beautiful.
Panel. That's beautiful.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So
nothing
different.
more than what you need.
Yep.
Look at that beautiful lettering, though. That's all hand done.
It is. That's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah.
How amazing is that?
Look at the hell. Look at that. Look at that.
Hell. Yeah.
His face is. It's a beautiful face. Because I was in the first issue of the Atlantean, like Cull is obviously incognito, and he's got like a sort of, rather than being clean shaven, he's a bit bristly. And I've been looking at the different techniques for showing it because you don't want to overdo it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to show too, but this is a gorgeous way of doing it. I love this.
It's a lot different than the vertical stripes that Kirby would give Reed Richards when he was busy. Yeah.
Look
have you noticed on this artwork? I don't know why, but it's been cut. Look at the top of the panel. The board has been cut.
Yeah.
Well, that looks like he's either redrawn it or like Randy's saying, it's being drawn in halves.
I am pretty sure it's done in half pages.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, he likes to draw very large. And this is a standard size. So this is like on A2.
Sets the page on its side.
But he's doing two. But he's doing two pages at a time.
Right.
For one page.
Just zoom into that top left lettering, Russ, if you can, please. Top panel, top left. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! How's that for lettering? Look.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Gorgeous.
that's hand done. Yeah.
But you
know-
see, look at how close that is in together there. I'm just wondering if this is on double size and he's used 2 sheets of paper.
I'm telling you, it is. Yeah, that's what it is. As you
So
go
he's-
in, you see all, especially hitting all that detail. That's just
Yeah.
So
beautiful.
he's
Yeah,
turned
it's
the
a
page
lot.
sideways and just done 2 panels on it, or 2
Yeah.
or 3 panels
Yeah.
on it. Half a
Yeah,
page
so he's
on it.
basically planned the page out as you would normally plan it out on a standard piece, but he's done it on 2 bits of paper instead of 1.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very rarely do you see the middle gutter violated
Mm.
on these
No.
pages. Very incredibly rarely.
That's bonkers.
It's like the Starhawks material we were looking at.
Mm.
Yeah.
No,
It-
it's
again-
about the same size.
This we're looking at somebody who can draw.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yes, very
Can
much
he
so.
draw? Yeah. Look at it. It's just fabulous. This is giving me ideas now.
Because if everyone who's watching could click a like thumbs, it would help. Yep, absolutely. We need all of the exposure we can get our hands on, folks. This is some
Just-
great material. We love showing it off. So
That panel is just
look
beautiful.
at that. Look at the whiskers there. Yeah.
Yeah, and look at the shading on the bottom lip, and it's just and the hair. Oh man, oh dear. There you go.
Well, the guy looks like he's been running in the West,
Yeah, that's just
Out in the
gorgeous
hot sun.
and
Let's
a
just
real
look-
insight.
Let's
Yeah.
just look at that page for the next 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
what an insight into what he's doing there.
Mhm.
Seeing that black and white art there.
I always say this. I want to see the pencils.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that wasn't like we were saying, that there was no way that was corrections, because look at the way it's designed. It's designed so that you can do it on 2 bits of paper.
Yeah.
On some of my art, for some of my inking, if you look at the scans, you'll see lines like that where I've cut a panel out because I'm not happy with the panel and I've done a new
Mhm.
panel and put it in a la Joe Kubert with tape on the back of the page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's great at that. You can do it with anything. Like if you don't like a face, you go, I haven't got enough white out to fix that face. You just do another face and just like cut it out, one over the other,
Yep.
and then tape it in, and the artwork's there. It's great.
And,
you
and now with computers, you could just drop it in on your scan.
Just put it on a different
I mean,
layer. And yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's not
prefer
bad.
to have it in the same piece of paper. So if I do get to
Mhm.
sell the artwork, somebody gets the whole thing. But
Sure.
once you've scanned it in, you can just flick out the cuts that you've done
Mhm.
and just make it so that it works. And then nobody knows that you've done it, and it looks great on the finished end. But that is not what he's doing here. This is
Really-
a definitive decision to put
Really
it on 2 halves.
Yeah. Well, you really have to wonder if maybe it was initially published in halves, because the pages are numbered here down in the lower right corner.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
definitely
they are. Look, it's got
2
another number on the top one there. Look.
2 pages.
See it? Yeah.
put together, yeah.
On the right hand page, panel 4, look at the bottom right hand corner of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a little folio.
Yep.
Yep.
So it could well have been, because there's a format in Europe that I've got a few books of that are like long and thin, like that, almost like the Titans
Yeah.
format
Right.
for European color comics, and there's a lot of people doing that. So maybe that's how this started off, and they simply bundled it into this format to make it more resellable across the world.
More mainstream in this bundled up look. That's probably how the albums were printed anyway. It was originally probably in halves. Marvel used to do 2 half pages in the middle of their work,
Right.
just so that they can run an ad along the bottom.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right in the middle of the book, you'd have 2 half pages with
Mm.
ads along the bottom set.
But this is I think this is definitive. It's like it's
Oh yeah.
it's made for that format and then stuck together for this format.
Yep.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
Plus, as you said, doing it that size, because it's obviously big, this artwork, it gives you the
Mm.
chance to do all that detail in there.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing about detail at that size is you can get your brush out and not worry about a fine line.
Yeah.
You can just daub in what you want, and because it's coming down half the size, It looks like fine detail.
It's like Hal Foster and Prince Valiant. He
Mm.
did those incredibly huge, so that all that detail looks beautiful. You know.
Yeah, there are times when you look at work and you think, how on earth did they do that? It's like, well, because the parameters were different. That's why you're doing things differently to what if you're sticking to that 11 by 17 or whatever it is,
Mhm.
and not going up any higher than that, then there's gonna be a certain amount of restriction you're gonna find as far as fine line is concerned.
Yeah. Just yellow there.
Yeah.
Yellow. Whole page here. A little bit of orange in the background. Very solid. Just like Shadow Kingdom, very solid tones. You don't need to get fancy with it.
Fancy.
I always thought about doing a comic like that. Doing a little square bound graphic novel and then having it cut horizontally in half.
Mm.
That way you'd have the possibility of these long panoramic, views.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of hot. Plus, I've always been attracted to like that Starhawks. To me, it's super unique because they use that almost just the page set on its side dimensions. A lot of dialogue. It's a deep story. A lot of stuff happening, going on.
Have that slap.
Definitely a read.
Stunning us into silence.
Yeah. Look at the panel on the first page, the third tier where they're standing on the edge of the panel as well. Again.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
No borders needed.
Yeah, the way it's just all lined up like a film shot. Incredible.
It's so packed full.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
both words and pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very dialogue heavy.
There's no space other than used space. It's great.
It's fantastic.
My only criticism of it, if I'm allowed, is the way that because of the translation, sometimes there's not the words the balloons are too big for the words.
Sometimes there's not enough wording in the balloons. Yeah, it just shows you what an overblown language French is.
I didn't say that, folks.
I did.
Although I agree.
To all our French, cousins. Sorry, not sorry. No, it's just a joke. Check it out. We're not going to invade or anything.
Well, I'm French somewhere down the line. My lot came over in 1066. So,
all right. So you've been stuck here squatting for hundreds of years.
1,000 years I've been squatting. Yeah,
1,000 years. God, squatters' rights for 1,000 years.
It's funny because my great granddad came over on a boat with Richard the Lionheart, and then my dad jumped back there in 1944 and out of the plane.
Going back to sort them out.
He looks a bit like Diego Maradona, doesn't he?
He does a bit, yeah.
Square face and that hair.
He's got lovely hair.
Yeah. I love the colouring on it. It's very subtle, isn't it? It's just brilliant.
Did Moebius ever do any Conan?
I don't think so, did he?
Did he do any what?
Conan. That might have been interesting.
Coloring?
I think Conan.
Conan the Barbarian.
No, not that I'm aware of.
I think the only superhero stuff he did was the Surfer, wasn't it?
Right.
I think.
It's got a superhero character in Airtight Garage.
Yeah, but that's his work. I'm talking about sort of mainstream.
I think that might have been interesting. I mean, you look at the face of this character, especially top up there. You know, it's he could have done some interesting stuff, I think.
You know, I think he did Silver Surfer because it was Marvel, and because he was working with Lee. Other than that, he does his own stuff.
If someone comes to you and says, "Do you want to do a Silver Surfer story?" You're like, "Yes."
Of course,
yeah.
But the way it came about wasn't good, was it?
Yeah.
Not a terrible work, you know, the Silver Surfer stuff. So
I mean the way that he had to work the Marvel way and didn't want to do that. And all that.
Well, that's you know, that's Lee.
I think that's where I get myself in trouble with a lot of other artists. Is that if you go to a job and there's parameters, you just do it. You get paid. You walk away.
Yep.
It is an art form, but the process by which that art form is created is a business. So sometimes you got to do stuff you don't want to do. You still have to bring your A game. You still have to, you know, try and enjoy it, because at the end of the day, you're not digging ditches. So, you know, deal with it.
Yeah. And if you don't bring your A game, you won't get a next gig.
Exactly. So I can appreciate why there's a lot of creatives out there who are, like, you know, very protective of the medium, of the art and the process and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, you know, when you're drawing for comics, it is a business, and there's a brief, and you have to submit to that. And if a company comes to you with a project and says, "I want you to do it," and they're going to pay you, especially if they're going to pay you well, then you just got to go on and do it, whether you like it or not. If you accept the gig.
Yeah. I lost one of the sides of my headphones. I'm probably going to have to get...
Lost the side. It just fell off.
Yeah. Lost the sound out of one of the channels there. Anyway. Onward. Nice. Little thin.
That's a lovely panel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's sort of reminiscent of being out of a film that's just so big for such a small panel.
Paw.
Is he talking to his paw?
Nope.
Hey, paw.
I just looked, Randy. That guy, it's Sergio Leone.
Okay.
Film director on those Clint Eastwood films.
No, it's Sergio somebody. Yeah.
Were they all done in Spain?
Yeah. At a place called Mahaca.
Mahaca. Yeah, I know Mahaca. There's a place in up there that I went there about, it must have been 15 years ago, and it's like there's this tiny little zoo and a little western town where every day they do a couple of shows where the bad guys come in and they have a shootout.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really very weird, but then Spain can be a bit odd. The day we were there, it rained so much. It's the most it's rained in 100 years. I mean, it's semi-desert there, and it hadn't rained in 100 years. And we got there, and it absolutely chucked it down all the day.
Did you go into Mahaca? It's on a hill, isn't it?
I've been into Mahaca. Yeah, my mum and dad used to live near Mahaca.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, I know it. Yeah.
It's amazing when you're coming up on the road and you can see all the buildings. They just cover the mountainside, don't they?
yeah.
It's just amazing.
It's just it just comes out of the side of the mountain. It's just,
And the crazy little streets there, you know,
Yeah.
two people wide, you know.
yeah. But trying to park there is a nightmare.
Yeah, and then trying to get to the restaurant at the top, it takes you about 4 days. 4 days mountaineering to get up there. You have to take a packed lunch. You have to take a packed lunch to go to the restaurant.
To go to the restaurant. Yeah. No, it's bonkers, but it's beautiful.
And
Yeah.
despite what people say, not all people are friendly, and they just look at you while they're sitting outside the doors.
The Spanish, they're a funny lot. They do make me laugh. They're particularly good at parking vehicles.
Yeah, just where they want.
Where they want. My dad turned into a Spanish. They insisted on living away from all the other English people.
Good.
And they learnt the language and everything. They wanted to be part of Spain.
Yeah.
My dad had loved it since he was a kid, and so they had this place up in the mountains and what have you. And by the time, you know, I spent a while over there with him, he'd turned into a Spaniard. He was parking his car across parking spaces. He was just like turning up and leaving it there and going, I'm going into the supermercado now to get whatever I want. I'm just going to drop my car there. And that's the way they work. They don't care. Everything's manana. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, what's the problem?
It's stunned us into silence again, isn't it?
Yes.
It's just so dense. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, that old geezer on the right hand side there. Yeah, that's great.
Once again, guide your eye.
Yeah.
To solid.
Once again, you can see the influences into the artists in 2000 AD here.
Yeah, very much. This is also a lot like Serpieri's work, isn't it?
Mm.
And that's not really surprising, seeing as they only live about 200 miles from each other across the border.
There is that kind of European sensibility, isn't there? But you can see how so many of the artists in 2000 AD turned out the way they did by kind of having this sort of transatlantic mix of influences. You've got Europe on one side and American comics on the other.
Yeah. These pages remind me of Carlos Esquerra.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Yeah. Especially down on that right hand side there.
Yeah, especially Blueberry's face.
Mm.
He's not sort of the most handsome man, is he?
You could kind of squint and think, is this Strontium Dog? You know. Yeah.
I'd love to see the full-size artwork on this.
Mm.
I'd like to look at it while it was hanging on my wall.
Yes, yeah. That's the aim, yeah.
Yeah.
With the other 300 pieces tucked away in a drawer somewhere.
Yeah, hanging next to a Kirby piece, yeah.
In a Fantastic Four #1 cover,
or a Fantastic Four barn piece.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one where they met this guy out in space and he was in a hockey uniform or something? He had a big stick. I can't remember what his name was.
Remember that?
I can't remember what his name, but he had like a hockey mask on and a stick, and they were out in space. I don't know how that works. It was bonkers, but it just stuck in my mind. You know how some things stick in your mind more than others from when you're reading comics. You know, like I mentioned to someone, you know, the first Conan strip that I ever read, Iron Shadows in the Moon. It's still in my mind constantly, and then there's images. You know, certain pages that stick out at you. You just can't get rid of them. They're just permanently imprinted on your mind.
For me, one that comes to mind for that kind of thing is it's the best title in comics for me. It's that Fantastic Four. I think it's Fantastic Four 37. It's called Behold a Distant Star.
Ah,
And I think the Krull in it and all those
oh,
geese.
fantastic.
What a fantastic title. Behold a Distant Star. Just amazing. I thought
Yeah.
this is it. I was only about 10, and I'm thinking this is a comic, you know.
Yeah, I mean I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan, I'll be honest, but the artwork has always been just amazing. And that Overmind, the Overmind story where they teamed up with Doctor Doom, and then it ended up dovetailing into the angel Gabriel coming down, blowing his horn, and him being a robot who was the Galactus's herald, and then Galactus turned up, and it was like I was completely besotted with that when I was a kid. That was just such a great story.
Is that Buscema?
It was. I think it was pretty much all Buscema, yeah, and Sinnott, yeah,
And Roy Thomas, would it be? Right.
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's just brilliant. Look at that! Look at that! Looking down from that high spot. Again, he's done another one of those long, thin panels with the background.
Yeah. Fantastic, isn't it?
There's just so much going on in each panel. It's brilliant.
With the FF, though, the first 50 issues, if you haven't read those, you haven't read the Fantastic Four.
No.
Really. You know, all the way through the Inhumans material. Just unbelievable. Especially for its time. I mean, you could tell why the sales on that book were as high as they were. Just imagination overload, pretty much.
I think it's sad when you realise what happened with all the politics behind when Kirby was doing the Inhumans book, and then it fell out the schedule for some reason and was put in the back of Thor.
Mm-hmm.
And it clearly jolted because I know Vince Collector gets a rough ride, but I do like his sort of style on Kirby's Thor. And then you go to the back looking for Tales of Asgard, and then you got the Inhumans with Sinnott on inks, which is obviously fantastic. But it was clearly odd. No, but we didn't know the background story of it. But later, Kirby was producing a fantastic an Inhumans book.
Yeah,
and it got rescheduled or something, or dropped or something, and they put it in the back of Thor. That's why Tales of Asgard disappeared for a while.
Well, he got screwed around on all of that stuff. I don't think the publishers had any faith in his imagination and his appeal to a reading audience. So all the Fourth World stuff was like that too. Yeah. They didn't treat it
but isn't it
any
funny
kind of respect when it was out.
Isn't it funny how they always want him there, but then they don't let him get on with it?
Yeah, well, they wanted him there because they wanted him away from Marvel. Yeah. That's why DC wanted him.
Yeah.
Once he got there, they treated him like crap.
Shocker.
It was like, get him. Okay, we've got him. What are we going to do? No idea.
Don't care. Got him there.
Just that the other guy haven't got him. The other guy hasn't got him. That's what it's. Anyway. So you're getting value for money on this book, don't you?
You certainly are, aren't you?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, the story is it is a read. It definitely is. There's a lot going on.
Tonto.
Well, if you think about it, effectively, it's double-sized, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Because if it was originally designed for this landscape format, even though you've still only got the same space, you kind of work out what you're doing and how many panels it's going to work. And you've got to tell a little bit of a story on each half page, right, which means that you're kind of adding in even more. I mean, you've got a minimum of 8 panels a page. Whereas normally I would suggest the average is somewhere between 5 and 6 for a similar formatted page. Yeah. So before you even start, you're going to put more panels in.
Double. Yep.
Yeah. And then if it's a bit of story that's particularly dense, suddenly you've got maybe 9 or 10 panels. Mm-hmm. So It's wonderful characterization here.
Yeah.
Love this guy lighting his cigarette. Look at that. Pesos.
Great horses.
You're a lion pig. One thing I do remember about this is the characterization, because Blueberry is not a hero. He's very much more of an anti-hero. Sometimes he's a downright prick in these stories.
He doesn't seem to do a lot, does he?
No.
He's riding his horse around, getting in trouble. He doesn't have to do anything, does he? He just gets in trouble all the time.
Yeah. He was always in trouble with the military too when he was in the cavalry.
This is just great drawing again.
And sometimes, like we've said in other works in the past, the color just seems to get in the way of a lot of the detail. I would really enjoy seeing this, like you said, Glenn, in black and white. I think it'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah. Well, that page that Russ showed was just amazing, wasn't it? So it gives you an idea.
Lighting here. Rolling his own.
This is we've mentioned this a few times about talking heads.
Yeah.
And making it interesting. And deciding when to do a medium shot and on close in and all that kind of stuff. It's got to be interesting. Look at that blue on that bottom panel there.
I was just thinking in general, the way the blue and the way it's just it's gone to night now.
Yeah.
And he's aware of the colouring. So he's drawn this in black and white. He's just left white panels.
Yeah.
And just gone, right, okay, well, you can fill that with blue. It's nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
And it totally works. He's definitely spotting more blacks in this book.
Yeah.
And those two right-hand panels there, the black underneath that guy's hand as he's tipping his hat up.
Yeah.
That's you. If you'd see that, if you'd have seen that independently, you wouldn't necessarily have said that was Moebius.
No.
Mm-hmm. Was it originally?
If you weren't aware, you'd think that Arzak was a completely different artist.
Yeah.
Was it originally printed in black and white?
I don't think so.
Was it always been in colour?
I think it has been, yeah. Of course, I could be wrong. I don't know how it was originally printed first time through.
See, I was just thinking to what Russ said there. He's dead right about the blacks. With the Arzak stuff, it's more open to put colour in. This, to me, seems to be produced for black and white because of what Russ says about the blacks being so.
Yeah, they're so much more dense, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is why I was asking about the colorists at the start, whether it was painted on or whether it was digital color or.
It's all mechanical separations, I believe.
Right. Okay. Well, then that makes sense to the way that he's drawing it as well. So lovely stuff.
detail here.
I don't think it's mechanical. If you look at that guy's way he's saying, hey, look at his cloak. I don't think the guy next to him, Blueberry's cloak.
Does look a bit, doesn't it?
I don't think you could
Some
get
of
that
it's
mechanical.
got a little graduated tone there. Yeah.
Either way, it's lovely.
Here too.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Just a master at work, really.
Mm-hmm.
This, for me, this is the best we've looked at for Moebius.
I think so. Yeah.
I really like the Azark stuff, or whatever it was.
Arzak,
Arzak, the one we did 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the shading on that was just amazing, and it was all like thin line work. There was no shading per se. It was all these thin lines, and whereas he's spotting blacks in this, and it's for me, it's got that little bit more life to it. It's more vibrant.
Mm. Yeah, because you would think with the stippling he did in Arzak, give it a more realistic texture,
Yeah.
Feel to it. But yeah.
It's I mean that book was certainly that first story was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The use of color, and again, it's like there's a question as to the use of color in that one. The color was different to this.
Mm-hmm.
This is more muted, I think.
Yeah.
Look at that internal shot there with the post and all the people are. That's just amazing.
Yeah.
God.
Ooh, hiss.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. Graduated tone there. Inside the blam, the orange to yellow. Yeah.
Wow. If it had drawn that scene there with look inside with all those people as a double page spread, that'd have been something, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Might have been at one point. You never know.
I'm going to say it's interesting that has that not split? It's gone into.
It's about to say he's actually split across the page there. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's the first time he's done it in the whole book.
Yeah.
So, I wonder how they did that.
Is it cut
well,
out?
they might have patched these two pages
Possibly,
together.
Yeah.
There might have been a half of this that they dropped
there a
out,
line
and a half
around
of that they dropped out.
Is there a line around that big panel?
Just a panel border, thin panel border.
There's not a cut line. There's not a cut line.
No, there's no cut line. They try to eliminate those anyway.
Yeah, I'd like to know the story, the real story behind that. So. Oh.
Michael says, inspiring work gets me motivated to work and study more and get better at my own art. That's one of the reasons why we do this. Michael, glad you're figuring that out.
Doing what we've done for the last 2 years has directly changed what I do, without doubt, because it's just being regularly open to lots of different styles, lots of different approaches and learning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely changed the way I draw, without doubt.
Yeah, I think you have to evolve, don't you? Keep changing all the time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, without doubt. You can't stay static.
Yep, all part of being an artist. In the room. Nice shot. The shading here.
Yeah, look at that. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
He could be Garth, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Same kind of hunky guy, isn't it? Sort of in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
But again, those older British styles have got more in common with the European style,
Yeah.
haven't they?
Yeah.
You see the fine lines and the
Yeah.
way that they put it together, and the way that it's not overly dynamic.
Yeah, you could see Frank Bellamy doing this strip, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he did a number of Western with Garth.
Yeah, yes, he did. Yeah. I don't see what you think about this. I could see Frank Bellamy doing this strip, but I couldn't see Brian Bolland doing it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
No.
Still, I'm sure he'd kill it.
I'm sure it would be the best thing you've ever seen, but I'm not sure whether it would fit.
I'm gonna have to go through my long boxes and dig up some of those old Jonah Hexes.
Yes.
And show those off. I've got them in Showcase Presents, but that would be next to impossible to show like this because the spine on them are so thick.
Is Jonah Hex Don Heck?
Oh no. Jonah Hex is mostly Filipino artists. Michael Fleischer, when he was writing it, was very Leone influenced. The as a kid, the kill count on those books were incredible.
Did Joe Kubert do any Hex?
I'm sure he has in the past. Nothing really springs to mind though. Most of the stuff I remember was Ernie Chua, and the Filipino artists from that era.
Yeah,
they just kicked the walls out on the art. Just beautiful stuff.
Which Western did Don Heck do, if any?
He did a lot of the Marvel stuff, didn't he? The Two Gun Kid, Kid Cold, Outlaw, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That must be what I'm thinking of, yeah. After Kirby.
Devil Flyer in the house. Says, hey, all, been writing my own Western. There you go.
Yep. Stop shouting.
Yeah. Levi's in the house. Levi, how you doing? Good morning, all. Inking and listening live this morning. Great stuff as always. Fantastic, Levi. It's great to hear that you're inking and you're working on stuff, buddy. Can't wait to see what you're working on. So those early Jonah Hexes are incredible. Yeah. Devil Flyer says, good morning, everyone. Rex, you're welcome in. The link is in the group chat there on Facebook. So anybody's in that group is more than welcome to pop in. And Levi, if you're ever podcast ready, you're welcome to come in on this too. Be great to have you on board. There we are again with the split page.
Oh, yeah.
Nice little profile there. Kisses the girl just in time for the law to break in.
Open up in the name of the law. Isn't that in Judge Dredd?
Yeah.
I'm the law. Not sure about that girl though. She's got a very high forehead.
Yeah, and on that side view's a bit funny as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Top left. I don't know what's going on with her head there.
That girl on the table there.
Oh, yes, that's great. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that one up there. That one up there with the blonde thing. Yeah, that's a bit weird.
It's a bit high.
But the one not directly below it, but so panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the tall panel.
Yeah,
she looks great in that. That's great. That's really good.
Yeah. This face shot here reminds me of Madeline Kahn and Blazing Saddles. A movie people don't watch often enough, by the way. So
everybody should be forced to watch it.
Excuse me while I whip this out. Classic stuff.
Do you know, I've only seen Blazing Saddles once on the pictures when it came out. What was that, 1974, 75?
Round in there, yeah.
50 years ago. Bloody hell.
All of the freebie streaming services like Pluto and Tubi and Plex and all of that, they have it all the time. I guess it's almost a cult favorite.
I'm surprised it's not been banned.
Yeah, pretty much because it's so non-PC. It's really hard to find Brooks's other films. Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein you can find, but a lot of the other stuff is really rare.
Is it the directors? The producers? That's it, the producers.
Yeah.
The producers is bloody hysterical.
Oh, it is.
I personally think it's his best, but...
Is that the one where is that song?
Springtime for Hitler.
Yeah.
Springtime for Hitler and Germany.
And he's a Jew singing that.
Yeah. Just,
Hey.
I mean, he is fantastic.
Oh, sorry, Levi.
He is.
Yeah, Mel Brooks is great. He's about 98
Mel Brooks
now,
is.
isn't
Yeah. I mean, what a shining example of how to do comedy, to parody everybody.
Yeah,
you know,
equally.
comedy should touch everybody, and you know, and the fact that he hits on those things that are sometimes deepest and darkest, and we have to laugh.
Yeah,
you know, we've got to laugh,
who,
and he's just brilliant.
Who directed A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum?
Oh,
that's a funny film.
Isn't that a British film?
I don't know.
Isn't that like
I know Zero Mostel's in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Zero Mostel.
Yeah.
He was wasn't he the? Oh no, he was he was in the producers, wasn't he? Zero Mostel.
Yeah.
He was funny guy.
Oh yeah. just thinking about that film making me laugh.
Yeah.
And Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Being actually a better Star Wars film than Disney Star Wars.
Yes.
You know, you were saying about things sticking in your mind. The thing that I remember most about Forum was the grapes scene. Do you remember that? When he was flicking grapes at that girl. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Is the director of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum.
Oh dear. Moving on.
It just shows you there's something going wrong with the world where people won't laugh at things. And,
yeah, I know.
They want to pull you down.
Permanently offended by everything instead of just laughing.
Or just walking away.
1966. A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Richard
Who
Lester.
Richard. Sorry, go on. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
Zero Mostel, Phil Silvers, and Buster Keaton.
Phil Silvers.
Phil Silvers. How good is Phil Silvers?
There you are.
So who directed
Buster
it?
Keaton too.
What was the Carry On film with Phil Silvers in about the French Legion, the Foreign Legion?
It wasn't Carry On the Khyber, was it?
No, I can't remember what it was.
There, I can tell you. Give me just a second.
But yeah, I mean, actually having Phil Silvers in a Carry On film was what an amazing amalgamation of British and American humour.
Carry On, Follow That Camel.
That's the one.
1967.
Yes. Brilliant.
The best one we said from last week was the Carry On Screaming one. What is my name? What is my name? I don't know. What is your name? Yes.
Yes. What? No.
And she says,
"This is masterful."
And Fenella Fielding says, "Do you mind if I smoke?" And she
just starts smoking and fills the room with smoke.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. Back to the book.
should do a film review as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Michael
we should do
says,
film reviews.
I remember seeing. Yeah, wouldn't be difficult. We could snipe stuff that's in public domain. I've thought about Sunday Funnies running a little serial every once in a while, a little theatrical serial, because some of those are pretty outlandish. Phantom Empire, and that's where Rocketeer got all of its inspiration from. I remember seeing the 12 Chairs by Mel Brooks was pretty good. So I'd be honored to be on, maybe when it's something I have opinions on. Haha. All right.
That's easy. We have opinions on everything.
Everything. And the
We just
the
silence
conversation.
ourselves.
Yeah. We're looking at Blueberry by Moebius and talking about Phil Silvers. There we are.
Yeah. We censor ourselves. It's self-censoring. We know that because we don't want to lose the channel.
That too.
Book 2. The $500,000 Man. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Look at that last panel on that previous story, though. Look at that.
Yeah.
Looking down on that
Open,
town.
yeah.
That port.
He's having fun there. And here too. That. What more do you need? Riding off in the sunset.
Like you said earlier, Russ, it's if you didn't know this was Moebius, you wouldn't think it was Moebius, would you?
No,
Not at all.
I don't think you'd know. I don't think you'd. Yeah, or it'd be hard to pick it out just off the off the cuff, because it's got kind of a Western European kind of feel to it.
And to me, there's what little limited exposure I've had to the the Bernelli Italian books. This style is all over that.
Yeah,
or they are all over this.
The Italian and Spanish artists, yes, it's so this, yeah.
Well, you looked at that Druna stuff I sent you, didn't you? The Serpieri. I mean,
God.
Apart from the obvious, but aren't the drawings good?
Just the drawing in that is just stunning.
But we can't show it.
We can't show it because there's lots of sex and boobies and things in it. But it's just wow. I mean, like when the mutants that he's drawn, like they're just wacky. They're just fantastic. What an imagination! What a skill!
I don't think you can get those books in England, Russ.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me. Somebody's banned them. Somebody's clutching her pearls.
Yeah.
Shading here.
Again, this terrible mix of anything that's drawn in sequential art must be for kids.
Yes.
Right.
It's like,
yeah.
No, it's not. No, what you should do is you should have a bloody age range on everything and stick to it. Not this, we'll just make it up as we go along. Or like films that just make their own censorship up. It's like, no, everything's allowed, apart from obviously illegal things, which is absolutely right and proper. Yeah. Okay. But underneath that obvious bar, everything else is allowed. You just make sure that it's, marked up appropriately so that kids don't get their hands on it.
Yeah.
Because I that stuff you sent me, the Serpieri stuff, I could appreciate the art for what it was. Okay, the fact that it had some mild pornography in it as well. Okay, but I could appreciate the art for what it was. But I wouldn't want my kids, reading that. I wouldn't want them getting their hands on it. That's for adults to look at and appreciate. And some adults might appreciate it in the wrong way, but I could appreciate it for the art it was. And that's what it's about. But you don't want your kids grabbing hold of stuff like that. No, not at all.
Some would say the same thing about Renaissance painting.
No, Renaissance painting wasn't pornography. It was just naked people.
That's right.
It's like there's a difference between, pornography and a nipple. America seems to collectively lose its mind over nipples, which I don't quite understand. But it's not pornography. We've got to stop. There's a wider problem here where people look at, body positivity and, sexualizing people and what have you. And yet it's constant. You can't see a nipple because it's obviously sexual. Sorry. It's part of a human body. What's your problem?
That was my point.
But isn't it funny that that's the kind of stuff people seem to want because it sells so well?
Exactly. I mean,
There
you
you
hear,
go.
you know, it's constant, like, you know, strong independent women, and absolutely nothing against that. I haven't got an issue. Okay. But you know, there's constant mantras and doctrines being pushed out. And yet all I see is young, you know, creative women in music or acting or whatever, basically getting their gear out, you know, like showing and being overtly sexual. And you think, well, what did you want out of this? What are you looking to achieve? You know, and an industry in general, what are you looking to achieve? It all seems to be so completely hypocritical and mixed up.
And yet you can go on what's it called? Friends Only or whatever it's called.
Fans only fans.
Only
That's
fans.
it.
Only
Only
you're,
fans.
Yeah.
you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. On the one side, it's like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, you mustn't do that, and on the other side, everything's overtly sexualized and consumerized, and we wonder why the Western world's falling down the toilet. Oh, look, there you go. How many panels on that page? We're all silent because we're counting.
13 plus the dialogue boxes here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the dialogue box is counted. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And that's only because the last two panels are big, wide open panels.
Yep. Yeah. Look at that.
It's, yeah. Again, what wonderful portrayal of racial differences, anatomical differences, just the characterization.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That guy looks like Blueberry's brother.
Yeah.
You can see the Moebius style coming in with that guy at the bottom panel there in the white. How long he is on the first page, centre panel on the bottom.
Yeah, it's quite tall and thin.
Yeah, that the way he's standing and everything.
That's Blueberry's brother, Gooseberry.
So their brother is Boysen. Yeah.
I hate gooseberries. My mum and dad used to grow gooseberries when I was a kid. There'd be a glut. Every year there'd be a glut of gooseberries. We'd have like gooseberry wine, gooseberry jam, gooseberry pie. I bloody loathed them.
Yeah. You just sit there for the 9 months they weren't on your table, looking out the window, watching them grow.
Thinking I'm going to be forced to eat those bloody things. Look, wow. What a page. Well, what a couple of pages.
It's 10.
So I can... Obviously, the screen isn't perfect. I'm not looking at a perfectly crystal clear page here. It's still not bad, but it's not crystal clear. And you squint, and it's almost Dave Gibbons-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at the right hand page, the second panel, the barman, it looks like a Mort Drucker Ringo Starr.
Yeah.
The guy holding the bottle.
Yeah.
Mort Drucker. It's funny how I'm just thinking then that if Jack Davis drew this, it'd be a comedy, wouldn't it?
It would.
Yeah.
It would.
You'd have people with the holes in the soles of the shoes.
Beautiful girl, though.
Yeah. Like Morticia Adams.
Yeah.
If you get this to read, I mean, you really do have to read it, don't you? There's a
Yeah.
lot
Oh, yeah.
going on.
It's definitely a read. Yeah. And the story is as deep as the artwork too. So very cinematic. I remember after reading the first half of this book, wondering why they've never filmed it.
Yeah, maybe they can't. They can't do it. You know, they can't get around it. If you understand what I mean.
The Blueberry movie that they did do was a genuine mess. A lot of weird Native American mysticism in it and stuff. So quite different from this stuff.
They missed a trick there. Look at that top panel there, which says "stop." It should have said "get your hands up" instead of "get your hands up." Get your hands up.
It's got a year. Get your should be an I there instead of get an E. Get your hands up.
Got a panel there at the bottom on the first page of the last panel where that guy's in the silhouette with the Mexican hat on.
Yep.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
The sombrero.
Yeah. Sombrero, that's it.
Just love that panel in general. It says a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot happening there.
Not a lot of color on it, and it just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I like the way they're all
color really detracts from it. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I like the way they're all squinting as well because the sun is so bright.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at everybody, they're always squinting. I'd be interested to see the script for this, if there's any, if Chalier gives him any direction, you know, how it works.
I don't know.
I'm thinking he must do, mustn't he? If he's giving him a full script, he must do. He's got to be telling him what he wants to see, I would have thought. You can't just give somebody a script, can you, and come up with this. Look at that there, on the left-hand panel, the way his head is under the parasol when he's standing on the wall on the first page, bottom panel. Next to your thumb. No, there. The way he's in the shadow under the sombrero, under the parasol on the wall, there where your thumb is.
Oh, here? Yeah.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
Shadow inking here in the face.
That guy there was talking to the girl with the cigarette. Looks quite British, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He looks evil, you mean?
Yeah.
A little bit looser here.
Looks like he should be played by Vincent Price.
Mm. Nice shot here, though. Up the nose. Yes,
I got a green word balloon there as well on the bottom left. Oh, weird.
Where are we looking?
First page, bottom left.
Look, bottom left.
There,
Here.
that green.
It is odd, isn't it?
Strange.
Where is
isn't
that
Lovely
woman's internal organs gone?
it? yeah,
Above-
yeah.
She's got her body is thinner than her arm. That's a skinny
The
girl.
corset. That's what it is. Corset.
See,
no butt.
Back in the day, everyone, we didn't have problems with being overweight.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough food to go round.
That's right.
Well, that and we didn't have the chemical additives playing with
Yeah.
our fat cells too. So
Does help, doesn't it?
yep. Levi says, is there a term for writing accents, speech, and afflictions? For example, idiot, or spelling get as get. It's a choice of the writer in the letter. It says, I love writing those when people get
Like-
it. It's so fun. Yeah.
Like when they get what's his name from the X-Men to talk? The one with the cards, Gambit. They get Gambit to talk. He's got that sort of southern drawl, isn't he?
New Orleans, French.
New Orleans,
Yeah.
New Orleans French, yeah.
Well, there's so much comics that are built around stereotypes.
Mm. Or the Ponzi word is archetypes.
Yeah.
No official term for it. No, not that I know of. Inflections, I would know. Accents.
Look on that panel there with the red on the first page, the second tier. The way he's done the caption with the red as well. First page, second tier, the red. The last panel. Last
panel. Last panel.
No. On that tier, second tier.
First page.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That's
here.
it. That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, the way he's just.
Yeah, you almost don't see it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that isn't an accident of the coloring.
Mm.
That's a great panel above it where they're sitting down in that cell.
Yeah.
That's fantastic because it's like if you're on that level, aren't you? You're sitting down as well.
Yeah, all those shadows. You're sitting below that. It's really a worm's eye view.
Worm.
Is it me or have they done the same thing again? The yellow over the balloon as well. On where your finger was there, just where your finger was.
Here as well. Yeah, here as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably intentional.
That's a great shot on the first page, last panel with that white on the red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great.
Putting that yellow over the top of those text panels, bubbles. Is that an attempt to put it into the far background? I don't know, because they're the people over the ridge talking to each other.
Probably to drop the narrative back as well, or the narrator, because that's what it is. It's a base narration, like meanwhile back at the ranch kind of thing. Shadow.
I want to know how long it took him to draw this stuff.
I am not sure. I would believe he did this faster than his Arzak work.
Do you reckon? Seems to be more detail in this.
I
Yeah,
think
but there's a lot more direct detail on this too, though.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a physical element to how many lines can you flick down in an hour, say.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot to be said for, like, you look at how quickly, like people like Buscema or Kirby or whatever, how quickly they worked. They can only put down the same number of lines physically, if you're just talking about physically, that you or I can, that anybody can. Okay, just drawing lines. But the confidence and the skill level at the point that they are means that they can put them down in the appropriate way as quickly as somebody who's just drawing lines.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the speed comes from. Like anybody can put lines down, one after the other. But the fact that these guys are so good and so experienced and so settled into their styles that they know exactly what's going to come out on the page. It lends to the speed. It lends to that speed.
I think what you said with experience is really the key. Experience leads to self-confidence, especially when using the tool of your choice and being able to lay those lines down.
And you get into a flow. I think these guys get into a flow that they can put down lines that create this kind of beautiful work at the same speed as somebody who's literally just drawing line after line after line. But if you ask the person who's drawing line after line after line to do the same thing, they would take days doing it because they'd be thinking about where each line went. Whereas these guys are they know where they're going to put the lines. It just happens.
Yeah.
That's what makes them as amazing as they are. I think the fact that they could knock this stuff out and it'd be profitable.
Yeah. To me,
amazing.
Inking wise, looking at this panel, you see some of that science fiction Moebius coming through here.
Yeah. It looks different there. Yeah.
I remember reading about Don Lawrence, the British artist who drew The Rise and Fall of the Trigon Empire. Mm-hmm. And he would get a full script, and he would, and generally I think it's about, about 6 panels a page or something, 7 panels a page. And he would sort of half design the page, determine which was the best shot to draw and all that kind of thing. And then he would write next to the panel in pencil, he would write an hour for that panel.
Oh, wow.
And then 30 minutes for that one, 15 for that, 25 for that. And he used to stick to that. And this is partly what I was saying the other week to Luke about this, this famed undo button on your computer drawing. You've got to get it right. You just got to get it down the first time. Yeah. If you can undo, you're going to be undoing forever.
Or if not, and the word you're using there, Glenn, is right, not perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you've got to move on. You've got that's the drawing I've done. That's the best one I can do. On to the next one. I've not got time to redo it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the way he's changed the way he's working with his brush. So what we were talking about, lines there.
Yes.
So in these panels on the far left, the first 5-6 panels, whatever it is, 5 panels. Look at the way he's using the blacks in the brushwork. And then on that last panel with the old bloke, don't tell me you love him, and the girl, just as an example of where he uses fine strokes and where it's now changed. Look at the creases on her arms, and just on the side of her breast there. They're thick lines. He's just gone blop, 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 as well as the fine lines, say, in the hair and the little wrinkles or whatever on the guy's face. And then he's got this wonderful lighting on the top of his head. He's got shadow, and the under part of his face is lit up. That is bloody masterful. That whole sort of the way that he's doing this, just fantastic stuff.
And that panel there on the right, where he's standing on the bottom, the bottom panel, that's very the science fiction Moebius again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that could be straight out of the other books that we've looked at.
Yeah.
Dodgy use of tails on the speech bubbles.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Look at that bottom panel there with that silhouette where he's holding.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Brilliant.
Yeah. With the harsh lighting here, shadows back behind it.
It's just that is so hard to do that and make it convincing.
Mm-hmm. This is nice here too.
Again, that bottom panel there, you can see whether the color has been put on afterwards or not. He knows that the color will hold that panel.
Yeah.
So he's thinking of when he's producing the strip, he's thinking of the whole thing while he's doing it. He's not just thinking, I'm going to do my black and white lines and let a colorist deal with it afterwards. He's incorporating what the color's going to be.
Well, he is the colorist on this, so yeah.
So yeah, but I'm saying even if he was leaving that, he'd be totally aware. He's totally aware of color, which even I can say that I haven't been completely. There are times when I've drawn, and I know that there's a colorist going to go over it, and I'm like, I'll leave. I don't necessarily create an effect for the colorist to finish off. I've kind of drawn my stuff, and then the colorist does their job. Whereas that bottom panel has color right from the word go, from the point that he sketched that out as a thumbnail.
Yeah,
he had color in mind when he made that panel. That's what I'm saying.
And yet, with
there.
The use of the silhouettes here, you wouldn't be able to help but know it was night even without the color.
Exactly. You could see it in black and white, but he knows that the color is going to hold it.
Yeah.
This whole book is like uber impressive. I've just bought one. But it was for a really good price. I saw a few for like 50, 60 quid, 60 pounds. But I picked one up from someone on Amazon with a used copy for 5 quid. So it probably won't be. It probably won't be the best condition, but I'll just be flicking through it anyway, so it doesn't.
Yeah, just a reference book, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think there's a kind of omnibus edition of the Blueberry material out as well, if I'm not mistaken. I seem to remember seeing one. I think Jason Moore showed me one. Right. It looked like all 5 of the epic volumes all put together.
There's loads of it in French on Amazon, brand new.
Oh, yeah.
Loads of it. But the one I picked up was this Chihuahua
Pearl. Yeah.
Chihuahua Pearl, that's it. And it was specifically that. So.
Yeah, the French.
And I'm pretty sure it's in English as well. Not that I'm going to read it. I'm just going to look at the pretty pictures.
There we go.
Ooh, look at that. Lassoed him. Look at that. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeehaw. That's great.
Looks to me like, in my opinion, looks like he really tightened up here on this sequence.
Yeah.
Look at the balustrade he's done where the soldiers on the planks. Look at the balustrade, the design on the wall. Yeah, the design on the wall, not just on squares. Mm-hmm. He's actually designed and he's starting to put his little pyramid things in it.
Yeah. Here too, it figures in.
Yeah.
He uses it as an element. As well. Sorry, chumps.
And took it out.
It's up to you now. I've done my job. Adios.
What's he got on his head?
Look at that. Here, sombrero.
Yeah. It's very strange. There's a good example there. That the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th panel, where he's leaning against the wall when they climb down. A very good use of perspective to show you how big that place is that they just escaped from in that little panel. You know, it's a big thing that they climbed down.
Yeah.
You know, he could have just done that straight on, couldn't he, against the wall? You wouldn't have seen what was going on.
Levi says, I have a volume of Serpieri's Druna that's in German, but with art like that and this, does it even matter? Haha.
You're right, Levi.
It doesn't. That book certainly doesn't matter what language it's in.
Well, it speaks one language, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It speaks the human language.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. There's that guy again with the sombrero at the top right. Look at that in the shadow. Where they're on the, look at that. Fantastic.
And then here, everybody's on the
Yeah, he's on the same level, yeah. El gringo es muerto. I like this guy with the mustache. It's very cool, isn't he? Until he gets whacked.
You can tell he's evil, though.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, Blueberry just had enough.
Very, very confident and arrogant.
Yeah. Smug.
And he's suddenly got an orange head.
Yeah.
Known to his friends as Orange Head.
Kind of a shift in the palette, the color palette there.
Russell, get this. He's been tangoed.
He's been tangoed, yeah. You've been tangoed.
They banned that, didn't they?
They did ban it.
When he was
God help somebody got slapped in the face.
Yeah. The kids were doing it at school, banging the
Think of the children.
Bursting their eardrums.
God, such a sanitized society.
Yeah, keep trying, don't they?
They do. He's got a big nose.
He does.
Yeah. We're going to have to wrap this up soon.
We're almost at the end of the book.
Okay.
To your post. Boom. Look where the horse is off its feet on that bottom pan where the explosion is.
Yeah. This works.
That was a Marvel comic. It'd say Thoom.
Yeah, it would. Right there. Boom.
With his Gatling gun. That great lighting on the guy pulling the knife out of the sheath. Look at that.
Blam. A lot of action.
Goodbye, Mr. Blue. Blam. Ah. It's a bit redundant, that, isn't it? And that big panel there at the bottom, it says, guided by their captive, McClure Red and the outlaws burst into the crypt. Well, we can see they're doing that, can't we? It's a bit redundant, that panel.
Just lovely brickwork.
Yeah.
Again, this just doesn't look like him, does it? It's a completely different vibe.
Yeah, he's had a definite shift somewhere, hasn't he, to his later stuff.
Yeah, I think a few pages back, he kind of shifted his style a little bit.
Yeah. I just wonder, I don't want to malign anybody here, but it's well noted that he took recreational things, and I just wonder if that shifted his view.
Well, maybe he'd stopped taking them here.
yeah.
You never know.
If you compare this to the other stuff,
Yeah.
it's maybe he stopped taking it here. I don't know.
Look at that guy there, the black guy with that sort of Napoleon look.
Yeah.
Isn't that correct? Look at that. He's got one of those wigs that they wear, like the lawyers wear.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's look great. Yeah, that's fantastic, isn't it?
It is.
That hand's a bit dodgy, though, isn't it? Above it with a cigarette. And it's small. Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it? He's got a tiny little hand.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a tiny hand. He's just got a great big head. Anymore, I'd be 2 clicks in Photoshop. Just grab it and stretch it up a little bit and good to go.
Yeah, I mean, it is easier now. It's a bit more like making a film. Now you can do things in post.
Yeah.
So you can draw the book up, scan everything in, and if you spot something, you can go, all right, maybe that just needs enlarging or a little stretching or something. I mean, I like to, I've gone back and, like I say, I've replaced panels that I didn't like. But there are a few places where I've just thought, well, it's not worth redrawing that, just slightly move it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is a print production. You've got to get it out the door, get it done.
That's it, exactly.
And I was drawing some work for someone else. Did a graphic novel for someone else, and they were really relaxed about that. Their view was, look, once it's scanned in and maybe we want a few minor changes, do it digitally, and it adds to the original artwork because you get something that's part of the process. If you sell that artwork on later, it's like you can say, yeah, that's what it looked like when it got scanned in. And of course, we had to make some minor alterations.
Yeah.
Is Speedy Gonzales in this?
Arriba.
Or maybe
I was just thinking, this is an old coot looking dude with maybe a taco on his head, but it's a sombrero.
I hate that mouth.
That's a burrito. He's been eating it backwards.
It's a taco.
Yeah.
This is a massive taco. It's like he puts it on his head, puts his massive taco on his head for the start of the week, goes out and does his job. He just takes chunks off it and eats it. So that it's like a lunch. It's like a packed lunch.
And at the end of it, he's got a cap.
Yeah. A tiny little cap.
It's definitely the spiritual guru of the piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's nice. Works.
Oh, she's got to be evil woman. Look at her makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly involved story.
Isn't it? Yeah.
What she says, fool.
I like the way they're not scared of changing the lettering. You know, like when she's shouting there, big and black and bold, and then he says, "Do what she says, fool and hurry." You know, it's great. Whereas in a Marvel comic, it would say the emphasis. It would be, "Do what she says, fool, and hurry," wouldn't it? Instead of just "Do what she says, fool, and hurry."
Both of those panels are great. Love it.
As she left him out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. That's the Eiger sanction, isn't it? When Clint leaves David Cassidy's dad in the middle of the desert.
Or what is it? Can't remember which film it was. It was one of the Bond films where he left the bad guy in the desert with a can of oil. He
Yeah.
says, "I don't know how far you'll make it before you just decide it might be a good idea that you drink that oil." And then they say, "Oh, we found his body in the desert." Funny enough, he had oil in his stomach. The bad guy got it. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Bottom
That
panel
Oasis scene
Oh,
there. Oh,
amazing.
look at the rocks.
Yeah.
Man alive.
It makes you wonder whether he's seen that.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
has. Yeah.
Just
I
gorgeous.
love the way that onto the panel next to it, the figures are in red.
Mm.
Yeah. Kind of a reddish brown here.
Look at that guy there, the blonde guy on the next page in the center. Looks like Kurt Cobain.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's V for Vendetta at the bottom in the center panel.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, there's an info dump.
Yeah. Oh, so that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Ain't love grand?
Oh, he's smiling, look. He's actually smiling.
Pointing at himself. Me.
There we go.
Different shading here. Ballad for a Coffin. There you are.
Mm. Wow.
Well,
That's
how
it.
good was that?
Fantastic, wasn't it? That's one of the best we've done, I think.
That was fantastic. Yeah.
Does that mean we're doing book 2 next week?
I don't see why not.
Don't see why not. Yeah. That's standard.
Look at those lovely thick lines on his collar.
Yeah, isn't that great? I just love
I
it.
just
this
love
illustration.
I just love the variation of line on the whole image.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just fantastic.
It's great the way you can't see his eyes very well because he's
not afraid
it's
to
just
say it.
squinting.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's lovely, isn't it? Very confident. And you're right, that sweat patch on the front of his hat and everything.
Mhm.
Fantastic stuff.
Just nothing wrong with that, I'll tell you.
No.
Fantastic stuff. Blueberry 1, folks. We've been looking at Blueberry 1. Moebius. Chalier, right?
Chalier.
Chalier. More stuff next week. This Sunday Funnies. We'll be looking at the NAM.
Oh yeah.
Michael Golden. Collection
Is it-
number 1.
Is it Bob McLeod on inks on this one?
I'm not sure. I think it's all golden. Armando Gill.
All right.
Armando Gill.
Right.
The NAM.
The NAM. Sunday Funnies, 9 a.m. Eastern time, folks. Great stuff. Great discussion then. Mojo in the house. Thanks for being here, Mojo. It's looking good. Michael says, have a good day, everyone. You too, man.
See you, Mike.
Levi,
See you later,
another
Mike.
great show. Thank you all. Thanks, everybody, for
Thanks
being
for
here.
coming.
Deeply
Yeah.
appreciate you.
See you, Levi.
Numbers are real good. We do this every Friday morning at 5 a.m. Eastern time. We look at the best of the best that we can find. We are open for suggestions as well. Leave a comment. Let us know if there's a work that you want us to take a look at. We'll be more than happy to do our best to accommodate it. So deeply appreciate everybody being here. We know the majority of our viewership is after we've recorded the program, because at least on this side of the world, nobody wants to get up at 5 a.m. unless they have to. But we do appreciate you being here whenever you're here. Please tell your friends if you like this kind of broadcast. Spread the word and hit that like button. According to my findings here, nobody's hit that like button yet. So somebody out there, be the first. Hit that like button, hit that love button. Let us know that you appreciate us. Any type of interaction you have with us just adds to our algorithm. We deeply appreciate it. Russ, tell folks where they can find you.
You can find me at russleach.com. Sign up for that email list so you can find out all about the Atlantean. It's on its way now. People will be getting their books early December, and we've already started on issue 2. If you didn't pick up an issue beforehand, you'll be able to pick up issue 1 with issue 2. We'll be going March 1st to Fund My Comic again. So sign up for that email list so you can keep abreast of all the information on that. That's me done. Technical issues. Randy's just sodded off somewhere. So we've got to do a dance. I've got to do a dance and have a little sing song. I could tell you about the state of crap in the UK at the moment. It's pretty awful, but there you go. What are you going to do? Just get on. Just make your stuff, make comics, be entertaining. Entertain yourself. That's always a good thing. Self-flagellation is never good. You just got to keep going, keep moving. And while people that are doing live podcasts with you remove themselves from the room and just decide to go and do something else while we're talking, you shouldn't worry too much about it. Just, let it flow, let it come out. You'll be fine. Like I said, sign up for the email list and get some more information about the Atlantean. And hopefully Randy will be back in a minute so that we don't have any awkward pauses and silences, which would be nice. No buts, no ifs. You can't say anything like that. You remember that quiz on the radio where you used to have to talk for 30 seconds without saying "and" or something like that? I can't remember what it was. Something like that. I don't. The trouble is that I've been talking for now. It must be a minute now. It feels like an hour. But I'm not going to win any prizes for this. Randy doesn't pay me anything to do this. It's awful. He keeps me shackled in this basement here. I don't know what I'm going to do. This is a cry for help. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. I'm sorry, caller. I'll have to put you on hold. I'll get some music. Oh dear. Where is he? I'm kind of run out of things to say now. Here you go. Buy the Shadow Kingdom. Here you go. Buy the Shadow Kingdom. You can buy it at Amazon right now. Barnes and Noble. Go over to Critical Blast. You can find it there. Buy that. Buy that. What else have I got to show you? There's all kinds of things. Oh look, you could. I don't get a lot for this, but you could get Terminus at Fenton's Green. There you go. That's quite a nice book. I did that a while ago. That's good fun. Or you could go and get Only Death Could Save Us, of course. That's over on Amazon as well. Pick a book up there. I'm kind of run out of puff now. I'm getting a bit hungry actually because it's like lunchtime here in the UK. So normally we've stopped by now and I can go and get something to eat. But such is life.
What we should do is just say goodbye and turn everything off.
My daughter just coming. Just turn the camera off. Just go. See you later, everyone. We're done.
When Randy comes back, we'll have gone.
We'll have gone.
Well, I am
Oh, he's back. There you go.
Lost my...
Don't worry, we filled the time. We didn't say anything nasty about you while you were gone. Nothing. Not a thing. We were really nice. There was no swearing. We didn't do anything to get the podcast struck or anything. So don't worry.
I don't know if you can still hear me. Give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
No, we can't. No. Can you see us?
Cut the broadcast. Cut it.
Can you hear me at all?
Yes.
Yes.
I see you bobbing your heads. I don't have any hearing at all in the headphones now. So give me a thumbs up. All right, good. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me in this asylum every week, twice a week. Other than that, if you put my name in Google, I'm sure they'll find something. I've got lots of stuff on Amazon, 12 books published, different subjects, varying things from humor to serious, very, very serious stuff, like assassinations and stuff like that. And
not character assassinations.
Actually, let me just say this, that it is actually 61 years today since Kennedy was shot, which my books are about. To the day, Friday, the 22nd of November. Anyway,
there you go.
So you can find me on Fund My Comic, where you can find Hatch and stuff like that. And yeah, just put my name in Google and something will come up. But don't believe everything you read.
No, don't. Put your thumb up. Yeah, we're done. Don't.
Or you could just go to.
I believe my.
There you go. Cut you off.
Go to Amazon.
That's it. Done. We're done.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead. He's gone again. My turn. Oh, here we go.
Did I cut you off again?
No.
Right, you're giving me thumbs up. It's all good.
Go for it, Randy.
Folks, sorry I lost my headphones. I can't hear anybody talking, but I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. We deeply appreciate you being here. We'll be back next Friday. I'll hopefully have new headphones by Sunday, and we'll have Sunday funnies then. And with the NAM, we appreciate you all being here. We're going to just end it here. See you on the next one. Buy alternative and independent comics, especially ours. We'll see you on the next one.
That's for done.
Take care, everybody. Yeah. This is the transparency of wonderful podcasting. I guess like to throw these headphones in the trash now. So we'll see you soon. Okay. Thanks a lot for being here. Take care, everybody.
So this is the divine intervention. You could become a spiritual guru on your own, but you just have to tie your shoes and you just have to know how to eat burritos backwards.
All
Can you
right.
hear now? Can you hear?
And we'll go here.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste